I was going to save this part for later in the show, but well, I guess this is going to be the main theme, which is that I don't understand why Christians who ostensibly love Christ so much seemingly don't live very Christ-like lives. And I think the thing I can bash the most is Catholics because I happen to have been one. I went to the Vatican. The Vatican is gorgeous. It's a great place to visit. It's very clean, very pretty, very you can buy a deck of cards with the Pope's face on it. But if you were to sell any 20-foot span of priceless artifacts, you could wipe out homelessness on the planet. This place is full of art like you've never fucking seen before. And what the Catholic Church is doing here with the Vatican is hoarding wealth. This to me is not what Jesus would do. And that's their boy, isn't it? That's the fucking Son of God. He's told you that the meek shall inherit the earth, that it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for someone who's rich to enter the kingdom of God. Then you go to the Vatican and you got to be like, what the fuck is this? Shouldn't it just be a bunch of tents? Shouldn't it be subsistence living? Because what you're doing is giving to the poor, giving to the needy, giving to those who need help. They're hoarding to the point of absurdity, to the point of like it should be illegal. So right at the top, okay, so Catholics, why aren't you living up to your ideals when you were the organization built around this guy who we should all be worshiping? You tell us we should be worshiping and living like. You know what I mean?
I do. And just so we're not going after one arm of the Christian church, I do remember this exact conversation where I was in my evangelical church in some sort of Bible study in a palatial, you know what I'm saying? These evangelical churches are palatial, okay? So I'm in this brand new multi-million-dollar building, and the guy is bashing Catholicism because to your exact point, if they sold all this art, they could just feed the world. And I raised my hand. I said, dude, we're sitting in a $5 million building. How are we any different? And the thing is that whether you're evangelical and you're sitting in a $10 million building or whether you've got all these works of art and, the fact of the matter is following Jesus Christ is a bitch. I mean, it is hard. And he made that whole idea very, very clear to us,
Yeah.
And so I think the challenge in front of all of us is actually dealing with that reality. And instead of dealing with that reality, as we say, Jesus said, dude, just go pluck the plank out of your own eye. Quit worrying about the speck in each other's. And whether you're Catholic or evangelical, we do a crap ton of speck picking without being able to acknowledge this exact plank that you're talking about. We don't do this ourselves. Why are we telling other people how to live?
Well, that's what blows my mind is everybody's like, we talked about this off the air, but the recruiting aspect of Christianity is like, isn't it so great? Jesus is, you fucking should follow this guy. You don't follow that guy.
Believing in Jesus and actually following Jesus are two very different things. And this guy is challenging the fact that while we may profess to be believers and probably want this guy to become a believer too, because that's what we do, we're not actually followers. We're not actually following the person we profess to believe in. And frankly, folks, that's what Jesus actually came to confront, is us. Further, we seem quite good at confronting the sins of other people while we look past our own wealth hoarding, as this guy calls it, or as Jesus might suggest, our ability to give sacrificially to others is often woefully lacking, though we will point out the sins of our neighbor. Jesus' suggestion to us, quit calling out the sins of other people and deal with the plank in your own eye. And that's tough. That's humbling. It's insanely humbling. And pretty soon you'll find that you don't have the ability to continue to pursue the sins of others anymore when you begin to look at the plank in your own eye. Lastly, it's always fun to get called onto the carpet, as you will, by a foul-mouthed atheist, right? That's always a good time. It allows us to dismiss his indictment of us. But remember that this is actually Jesus' specialty, to teach us through those who we prefer to dismiss. In fact, Jesus himself was one the church preferred to dismiss. Now, for more on this, please subscribe to my channel or buy my book on Amazon, The Matthew Challenge, Living Beyond Religion, Christ Beyond Christianity. All proceeds given to charity. Thank you.